welcome back. I had to pause that last. Well, it was a good time to end that episode because it had been 30 minutes. We're trying to keep them at that length. And also, I had to pee real bad. So, and it's part of this disease of my problems. This is my favorite George Benson song, Lady Love Me. The best. Because with this disease, probably my age too, but nowadays when I have to go to the bathroom, it's like I think there's a bathroom. And then a minute later, it's like, I had to go now. That happens a lot. So much that when we drive up to northern Michigan, it's a 6-7 hour drive. And last time we went in July, I almost peed my pants several times because I to my wife, I think I gotta pee, and then before she could get up there and find somewhere to go, I was dying. So we've resolved that issue. So I bring like a pee jug with me on the road, so I don't pee my pants. So that's what actually worked out well. But so we'll get back into the Michigan trip, which is where this is going to end well because I just got back Monday night. Lovely. So I'm going to go back to where I was ended the last one. It was the morning of the 14th when I was preparing for the colonoscopy, where I couldn't take any of my pills for 2 days. Couldn't really drink a whole lot of water. I just had to drink Miralax. So I was started that morning. I took 4 pills of some laxative. I don't even recall what it was, and then immediately had to drink. No. Laxative and something else. I forget what it was. And then by 5 o'clock, that's when I had to start doing really just drinking a lot. 32 ounces of Gatorade. 8 ounces at a time, rapidly, and with a bunch of Miralax in it. And that was difficult. So I kept trying to drink it fast, and then I would just throw it up. It was horrible. And then it happened a few times. I'm like, all right, I can't do it this fast. It's just too much. And that's okay. Just Diet Coke, no booze. I don't know if the camera can see this glass, what it says. Can you see that? Uh-huh. Basically, fuck MSA. That's what it says. I found Laura Cassiopo. She's so sweet. She had those made for me. And she also got me this little speaker that I brought up to Michigan. This thing's powerful. Yeah, and she's so sweet. And I'm going to have her and her husband and some other friends over to our house soon. But she's something that speaker, and it's loud. And I got it, came in the mail. I'm like, I don't remember what it is. And then she sent me a text. Saying, did you get my speaker? I'm like, thank you. I solved that issue, and it's wonderful. So anyhow, back to the that evening, Sunday the 14th, and trying to drink all this crap. I had a hard time with it. And I couldn't eat. And I couldn't take my pills that helped me so much with my symptoms. And I couldn't do it. Get ready, and the same thing in the morning. I didn't sleep well. Next morning, same thing, taking more. I don't think I could drink anything. No more Gatorade, no more, nothing at all. So by the time I got to the procedures, the endoscopy and the colonoscopy, I was just glad to be able to have them knock me out, so I could finally get some rest. But then those procedures did not go well. There were complications, and apparently my heart rate was all over the place, and the doctor was very concerned about that. And I was having convulsions, and I was sweating profusely. It was just not good. He was concerned. Good news is that they didn't find anything bad through those procedures. But then he was concerned about my heart, so he thought he may have some medications that could help. But he wanted me to go downtown to Cleveland Clinic to see a cardiologist and get some test done. It's a tilt table test. I don't even know what that is, but that'll help him determine what this medication he thought might help, which medication and what dosage. So never made it down to get that test, because then by Wednesday I was back in the hospital again. And with more nausea and vomiting. It just kept getting bad. So I was back to the ER on August 18th, the 20th. That was again second or third time. And it was not good. And I was really struggling. And then I got back August 20th. It was a Friday. And Marvin Gaye. Love him. And then it was just another awful couple of days in, starting at the ER, but every time they would admit me because it was so bad and they weren't sure what the hell's wrong with me. And then I came home Friday the 20th and did not have a good weekend. Again, nausea, abdominal pain. And then I ended up back on Monday, August 22nd. Right back in to the 24th. And that was the last date. Now I went to the ER, and of course because I was feeling so awful, couldn't stop throwing up. It was nonstop. And went back in, they admitted me, and they ended up doing what's called a gastric emptying study. And this was awful. Because they wanted to check, how stuff's going through me. But I couldn't eat anything. So again, that was an issue. And then the morning was Wednesday the 24th. They did the gastric emptying study. They got me up early, brought me down, and they did give me some food to eat, finally. It was just terrible. It was a little plastic bowl full of microwave scrambled eggs and a piece of toast with some jelly to put on it. I was so hungry, I ate it. And the toast they had was dried toast, but they had a little thing of jelly or jam to put on it. And I think it was like 100 years old because it was just like glue. It was hard to get out. Kind of nasty, but I was so hungry. I put it on there and ate it. So then they put me into Al Green. In this scan for 1 minute. They scanned my stomach. Then I go back out. I have to wait. So I got the eggs, toast, and 1 8-ounce thing of water. And that's it. Nothing else. And I had to do these tests for 4 hours. It would scan the stomach, back out, wait for an hour, bring it back in, do another scan. Same thing, back in, 4 hours. Now, the good news is they couldn't find anything. And they said, we didn't see anything there, but we think we know what it is. And I was like, okay. And I'm going to post this on my website. I had already sent what this diagnosis was to to the guy who handles the website. And it's not something I'd ever heard before. It's called cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome. Nausea and vomiting resulting from cannabis use. It's recurrent nausea, vomiting, and cramping abdominal pain that occurs due to prolonged high-dose cannabis use. So, again, the good news is that it wasn't, all these issues weren't my disease progressing. So that was good. And this syndrome is obviously because I was smoking too much weed, eating too many gummies. And it's like a cycle. I would get nausea, have nausea, and I'd smoke some weed because it really does help with nausea. And then I would eat some gummies to help me sleep, and then I'd feel worse next day. So the problem is, the more you do it, the worse it gets. And so, the funny thing too is what Carol, who's also a client of Tanya's, very sweet lady, wonderful, and she had texted Tanya this particular syndrome, I don't know, a week or two before. The doctors said that they thought this is what it was. More George Benson. So, again, I'd never heard of it. I told some certain people, and they had never heard of it. So, chalk up another rare issue that I get to partake in. Special. But the good is it's reversible. So I had to stop. And it's gotten better every day. A little bit. It takes a little while for it to get better, but it's reversible. And initially I thought, well, okay, so I just got to quit for 6 months, maybe a year. And then Tanya, we were working out one day, and Tanya and my wife were like, no, you cannot ever do it again. And my wife's like, yeah, it says that if you look it up. I go, I didn't read that much into it. And Tanya's like, yeah, Carol said if you do it again, she's seen people in the ER. She was ER nurse for 30 years. And people who tried to do it again, it got 10 times worse. So I'm like, okay, I'm done. I don't need it. I don't want it. I'm never going back to feeling that awful again. So no more. And I'm happy about it. I'm sure I'll miss it. There was certainly had some fun times doing it, but not if that result's going to happen. I'm never doing that again. So, and I can still, have beer, have a few drinks, glass of wine at dinner. No, I'm fine with that. And I don't drink that much anymore. I don't want to, but I can just do a few to relax and, all's good. So, yeah, what was that day? So I finally got home. That was August 24th. And then was feeling better. 25th, still struggling. Then Tanya actually came over on the 26th and the 27th and the 28th over the weekend, which was lovely. And each day was getting better. And just a little bit each day, I just kept trying to focus on the positive things and keep trying. So I did. And it, oops, sorry. Put on some other songs here. How much time we have left?
About 10 minutes or so.
Okay, good. So I'm going to play some other fun songs. It's just that soul playlist is finished. So let's start here. This is band's called Danny Wilson, Mary's Prayer. Really good. So I she came over every day, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which was just amazing, and it helped so much. But I was still having a hard time walking. Difficult, and I was using my little walker. It's got some wheels, and I'd really tried not to use that, as it just made me look like an old fart. And but it was so hard to walk with my cane. It was dangerous, so I just started using it, and more and more I used it, I started embracing it. Now I love it. I don't care what I look like. It's about me being safety, not being terrified I'm going to fall and break her neck. So I've gotten used to it and walk around the house. And each day, again, got better through next week. Tony came over a lot. And then we left August 31st, which is my daughter Isabel's 22nd birthday. And we drove up to Upper Michigan to Burt Lake, which was just, I love that place. Literally the most peaceful place on earth, with TR and Kelly's cottage, more of a house, good size, and it's so beautiful. I'm going to post some pictures of that trip. Went Wednesday, got back last Monday. I want to post pictures of the lake. It's gorgeous. And some pictures were, because I was texting a lot of people because I was happy. Had been happy for close to 2 months because it was so awful, but it was great. And I was looking at some good pictures. I actually brought the walker up, made it into the cottage, and the next day was a Thursday, and I made it down to their dock. It's a long walk and some stairs. It's difficult, but I did it. And I even got into the lake, which was just phenomenal. But it was very, very cold. Very cold, but I had to get in the water because I had to pee. And you get used to it after a few minutes, so I would try and walk a little bit too. Well, REM, Don't Go Back to Rockville. Wonderful song. So, got into the water. We sat out on the dock in the sun. It was a wonderful day. Had some food, a few drinks. Made it back up. So I kind of overdid it that day. I had gotten up normal hour and I'd stretched a bunch, which felt great. Went to the dock, came back, and then we stayed up late that night till like 2:30 in the morning. But it was so much fun. We were sitting on the back patio, listening to tunes. We had a fun little game we play in TR, and where you're trying to think of the worst songs ever made. And there's a number of them. Maybe I'll We'll have to put a playlist to that together, just sarcastically. It's funny because these were some bad songs, and Mary Beth and Kelly were out walking along the boardwalk, and me and Tia are just blaring this music and singing along. Is god awful. I'm sure the neighbors were wondering, what the hell's wrong with you people? But we had fun. And then girls came back in, and we ended up going inside, jamming more tunes, good tunes, and playing euchre, which I loved doing, even though we lost. Because I played bad. I screwed up. And I so overdid it. So it was Thursday night, Friday. Yeah, I think I slept until 1 o'clock. So that's my own fault. And but felt better that night. So we got in the shower. We went into town to Indian River. Went to a brewery. Sat outside. They had food trucks there. A band playing. It was a lovely night. And so that was another good night. I just had each day got better and just continue to do that. So it just really makes me excited to keep going. And we had a nice dinner Saturday night. Now, the only 2 times I felt bad when I was up there was when I overate. We went out to dinner that night, nice restaurant. I had an 8-ounce filet, side of asparagus, au gratin potatoes, sauteed mushrooms and onions, and I ate it all. Several glasses of wine, I destroyed it. And then we had some deep fried Oreos for dessert. Oh, and Irish coffee. And then I paid the price for that. And so I got my appetite back, so that's good, but I just got to eat a lot more smaller meals. And then the other time I ate too much, we were on our way back Monday, and we stopped at Olga's Kitchen in Detroit. We actually stopped in Brighton and ordered a bunch of food, and I chowed down a salad and a whole Olga, and did not go over well. I love the food, I just can't eat that much. So thankfully I have these pills that I'm taking for the nausea that are really helpful. And I've gotten in such a good regimen now of the pills that I take. A little Grateful Dead for you, Touch of Grey. And that regimen is, I got 6 different pills to take in the morning. I set my alarm for 8:39. So I have to take these on an empty stomach. So I do that. And I have to wait an hour. And I have to eat something. And I've gotten the hang of DoorDash now, so that's helpful because I don't want to have to rely on my wife to get me food because she works a lot. And I don't want to be a pain in the butt, so that's worked out pretty good. And, now I can actually, she gets the food and I can walk it out and with my little walker roller thing, the container, I put stuff in there and walk it out to TV or even the back porch at Michigan and pull it all out, and so it works out well. But I have been actually yesterday. I had another massage last night that I got in the last second with a lady named Teresa in the Avon location. She was wonderful. But I knew I wanted to go to that, so I started trying to walk around the house with my cane without the walker. And I did okay. So that's exciting. So I made it out of the house. I had to go to the bank machine, get some cash, and I had to get out of the car to go to that. And I had to get the car to go to the massage and walk around while I was in there. And I did okay. It was very difficult, but I didn't fall. And it just felt wonderful. So I got that done, and then I got some food, came home, and had a great night. Didn't sleep as good because I was stayed up too late. Didn't sleep too late. Actually, I went to bed at a normal hour, but then I couldn't fall asleep. My mind was racing. I was taking notes and about the podcast. Then I started jamming my workout playlist, which is all heavy metal, and that's not what you listen to when you want to go to sleep. So, but I managed to sleep, and today's been a great day. I was tired, but the 2 workouts with Tanya were amazing. Tyler and Ted have been here most of the afternoon, so I really appreciate that. It means a lot, and I would like to try and keep venturing out of the house. I don't like being cooped up here, but I'm getting there, and I can get out now by myself. It's just my cane. It's going to keep improving. I know it is, and that's exciting. And I'm going to play golf soon. I'm going to do a lot more things that I was doing before that I couldn't do the last 2 months. So that's really, really exciting. So what I will do, I'm going to end this episode now. So hope you enjoyed it. I went through some dark times, but again, it's ended well for me. I hope you've enjoyed it and maybe brought a smile to your face, and anyone else who's struggling, going through anything horrible and physically, any illness or depression and anxiety. You can get through. Just hang on. Don't give up. Be patient, and just try and make a little improvement each day. So, thanks for listening or watching. Appreciate it. I'm looking forward, and we'll do a lot more of these. So, I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.